got some good Sony news for y'all today. Hello there, everyone. This is lavoncason here, back at it again with another YouTube video. And what if I were to tell you guys that the rumored PlayStation 6 handheld is supposed to be more powerful than the Xbox Series S and the Nintendo Switch 2, as you guys will be seeing here right now. So, the title of the article is PS6 handheld will reportedly beat the Xbox Series S in both raster and ray tracing. PSSR 3 will outperform the NVIDIA DLSS 4.5. Now, the article comes from WCCF Tech, but where the information of the article comes from a known AMD leaker, Kepler L2. The system will outperform the Xbox Series S in both rasterization and ray tracing. Furthermore, it is expected to deliver superior image quality with PSSR 3 over what the Nintendo Switch 2 can achieve with its NVIDIA DLSS Lite. The GPU is a bit ahead of Xbox Series S in raster, and of course, massively ahead in ray tracing and path tracing, said the leaker on the NeoGAF forums. And here is the rumored specs of the PS6 handheld: 4 Zen 6C cores, 2 Zen 6 low power cores, 16 compute units of RDNA 5, 1.192-bit low power DDR5X RAM, and it's supposed to have 24 gigabytes of that. 24 gigabytes of RAM. That is twice the memory that the Nintendo Switch 2 has. And that's like, what? 14 gigabytes? You know, more than the Xbox Series S has. And as far as, you know, the nanometer of the chip is supposed to be 3 nanometers. So, the specs of the PS6 handheld is sounding impressive, you know, it being more powerful than the Xbox Series S and the Nintendo Switch 2. This PlayStation 6 handheld seems like it is set to deliver a high-end on-the-go gaming experience. It is an experience that, in terms of image quality, is set to look significantly better than what the Nintendo Switch 2 offers. Not only because of the significantly better specs, is because of the PSSR 3, you know, Sony's powered AI upscaler. You know, that's supposed to be better than whatever the Nintendo Switch 2 has at this point. Which, again, this is from Kepler L2. Switch 2 only has DLSS 2, CNN, so take that information what you will when it comes to that stuff. So, that could be, you know, Sony's AI upscaler. That could be the one big feature that alleviates the PS6 handheld above, you know, Switch 2 and also other PC gaming handhelds such as the Xbox ROG Ally X, which does rely on other upscaling solutions. It will definitely be interesting to see this PSSR 3 on the PS6 handheld in action. Like, it's going to be interesting to see those PS6 and Switch 2 and, you know, Xbox Series S comparisons, because of the fact that the PS6 handheld is going to have better ray tracing and path tracing capabilities. And it's going to be interesting with the PS6 handheld, you know, it being docked, showcasing how much better games will look on that in comparison to the Xbox Series S and the Nintendo Switch 2. Like, it's going to be interesting seeing those comparisons. It's definitely going to be interesting seeing those things in action. And honestly, let's just leave out the article here. Honestly, at this point, PS6 handheld specs, you know, rumors, you can take this with a grain of salt. They look very impressive. They definitely do look impressive. The question is, how much will this PS6 handheld cost? Will it cost $800? Will it cost $700? I'm thinking it'll cost around $600 to $700. That's just me personally, but we will have to wait and see on that. And also another thing too that we have to consider, will the PS6 handheld and PS6 have that parity clause? Basically, you know how Xbox did it. If a game is made on the Xbox Series X, it also has to be made on the Xbox Series S. So will Sony do the same thing to where if a game is made on the PS6 home console, it must be made on the PS6 handheld? You know, that's going to be interesting to see whether Sony, use that or not, use the parity clause rule on the PS6 family of systems. And honestly, I could see, a scenario where they don't and just, allow the PS6 handheld to play the PS5 versions of games, and that would be good enough for the PS6 handheld. Because let's be honest with you guys, the cross-gen, when it comes to the 9th and 10th gen, is going to be very, very long. So by the time that the PS6 does get, its own exclusive games, again, that's if Sony does not do the parity clause when it comes to the PS6 family of systems, the PS6 home console and the PS6 handheld. It will probably be very few and far between. But I have a feeling that PlayStation is going to do the parity clause. That's just me, honestly. But I'm interested to see those comparisons. The PS6 handheld versus a Switch 2. The PS6 handheld versus the Xbox Series S version of games. Like, I'm interested to see how much of a leap this PS6 handheld is from the Switch 2, obviously, and the Xbox Series S. Like, I'm honestly interested in seeing those Digital Foundry comparisons when this thing comes out in supposedly 2027. Like, I'm interested to see that stuff. But, yeah, honestly, guys, when it comes to the 10th generation of gaming at this point, like, I'm just interested in this PS6 handheld. Like, the PS6 home console, I mean, obviously it's going to be better than the base PS5. It'll have, better ray tracing, more RAM, a better GPU, a better CPU. Like, it's just going to be a better PlayStation home console. But the handheld, that I think is probably the most interesting product of the 10th generation, honestly. If anything, that's just me personally. But, like, as far as the 10th generation goes, like, I'll probably just stick with my PS5, my Xbox Series consoles, and just get the PS6 handheld and just keep it moving. But that's just me. But what do you guys think of the rumored PS6 handheld specs? Are you guys impressed? Are you guys not impressed? Are you guys interested in seeing those PS6 handheld versus Xbox Series S and Nintendo Switch 2 comparisons? Let me know in the comment section below this YouTube video. This is lavoncason signing out, and peace, and thanks for watching. Bye.